From Eyewitness News, this is Newsmakers.
No deal. That's the message Attorney General Peter Neronha has for Purdue Pharma as Rhode Island rejected a settlement between the pharmaceutical giant and thousands of plaintiffs who sued the company for its role in the opioid epidemic. Why the deal didn't sit well with the state's top prosecutor. Plus, a truck pushes its way into protesters outside the Wyatt Detention Center, the group protesting the prison's relationship with Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. The incident has been under investigation for more than a month now. Will anyone face criminal charges? Our guest this week on Newsmakers, Attorney General Peter Neronha. Welcome to Newsmakers. I'm Tim White. Joining me on the program, Eyewitness News reporter Ted Nesi, Attorney General Peter Neronha. It's good to have you. Welcome back to the program.
Good morning. Great to be back.
I want to start there with the Wyatt Detention Center. That was more than a month ago now. We saw that video of the truck pushing its way into protesters that were there, protesting the relationship between Wyatt and Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. And I think a lot of people are wondering what's taking so long for your office to decide either way if someone's going to get charged. Where do things stand?
Yeah, so I'm a big believer in taking your time when you have time, and we clearly have time here. Getting it right sometimes means getting all the evidence and making sure you understand it. And so I get how it appears. You know, you have video from one angle or two angles and you see what happens. But to me, there are really two things we're looking at. One is the operation of the vehicle, and the other one is the deployment of pepper spray. And it just takes time to gather all the information. And since we're using a grand jury in this particular instance, you schedule the time of the grand jury, you put witnesses in, and we'll see where it leads us. So I think we're going to turn this around pretty quickly, in comparison to other grand jury investigations I've had over my career. But that's probably why it's taking more than some people might otherwise expect.
There could be criminality in deployment of pepper spray?
Well, look, we're evaluating it. This is one of the one of the advantages of having the grand jury report legislation that I put in last year, that even if something doesn't rise,
which didn't pass,
right?
We'll talk about.
Yeah, but there's an advantage, I think, in having that kind of report ability, that even if something doesn't rise to the level of criminality, should it have been deployed? What are the right circumstances? I'm speaking very broadly now. So those are the questions that we'll be asking ourselves and asking the grand jurors to consider. So we'll see where it comes out in the end.
Do you have a timeline?
I think within the next month we'll be done. Certainly.
Okay. Yeah. Some people are also wondering, it's your focus is on the truck, and you hear pepper spray. Those are the correctional officers from Wyatt who use that. But why not the protesters? I mean, they were obstructing a roadway, and in other states, we know down in Texas, they arrested protesters for a very similar protest. So why not even consider that?
Yeah, so here's how I look at it. So you have a right to peacefully protest. What you don't have a right to do is create a hazard or danger. In this instance, you're right. Based on what I've seen, the protesters were obstructing an access, and yet police took no action to prevent them from doing that. So
they weren't even there.
Well, that's part of my answer, right? That there was no police action to prevent them from doing that. So there was no public threat or danger caused by their conduct, as I see it. So that's why my focus hasn't been there. Now, certainly, had different decisions been made and access other than the individual that we're talking about here in the truck, certainly those folks could have been taken into custody or arrested. Some of them probably might have expected that, but once law enforcement steps back and says that's not the action we're going to take, then I don't think there's any reason from a practical perspective to look at their conduct here.
A woman came up to me at a coffee shop the other day and asked me, and I told her, well, we're talking to the Attorney General this week, so I'll put the question to him. She said, where were the Central Falls police that night? I think she sounded like she perhaps knows people in the correctional officers world and felt sympathetic toward them. She said, why weren't they keeping the peace? Why weren't they preventing it from getting to that point? What is your understanding at this point of the role of the Central Falls police? That was well telegraphed. The protesters had made clear to all of us they were going to be there.
Yeah, look, I think, I don't want a Monday morning quarterback, and their mission is different from mine. I think, if they were to self-reflect, maybe they would do it differently if they had to do it again. I think they had a plan. The plan kind of went awry based on the actions of one particular individual, and maybe knowing that today, maybe they would have done something different. At the time, I think you'd want to talk to them. But I think those are all fair questions, and I think that's part of what we're parsing through. And frankly, that's why it takes a little bit of time. There's a lot of decisions that were made along the way here. Not all of them may lead to charges, Who knows where that's going to end up? But there's a lot to take from this situation that can make things, I think, better going forward. And you saw that with the more recent protest, I think.
The group that organized this protest, they want the General Assembly to pass a bill next year that would close Wyatt.
Yeah.
Would you support that?
You know, Ted, look, here's my answer to that. In the perfect world, the Bureau of Prisons would run all the federal facilities. My concern when it comes to facilities, and I'm looking at this now through the lens of a former U.S. attorney who had to bring detainees in from the Wyatt, who wanted to speak to detainees at the Wyatt if they were cooperating in a case. If a defense attorney wanted to take something that we were offering back to a client, it was very helpful to have them in Central Falls as opposed to in Connecticut or Massachusetts. So I think there's a place for a facility at Wyatt. I would prefer that it be publicly run, not privately run. So I'm not interested, I guess, in closing it. I'm interested in having it run differently.
Have you or anyone from your office gone into Wyatt, toured to see what the conditions of that's a fundamental concern.
Yeah.
How are the detainees being treated?
You know, I have not done that. I will say that when I was U.S. attorney, now this goes back. I recognize that a couple years. There was one instance where there was a detainee who was not treated the right way, and that was a matter before Judge Smith, and our office was involved in that. But I don't remember any incidents coming up in that period of time, and I haven't had an occasion to go out there yet.
Opioid epidemic. You rejected a settlement between the plaintiffs, if you will, of which Rhode Island is one in the opioid lawsuit, and Purdue Pharma. The first thing I wondered when I read Ted's article on this was how much did you leave on the table there? How much was Rhode Island poised to get in that settlement?
Yeah, well, that's a little unclear because once let's assume there is a corpus of money there to be distributed. The next question is who gets what? How much does California get? How much does
So that hadn't been worked out at that point?
It had not been worked out.
All right. Well, so the New York Times this morning reported that the Sacklers are threatening to pull the $3 billion with a B that they've pledged as part of the settlement if a bankruptcy judge doesn't block outstanding lawsuits. They're talking about you, and they're talking about Massachusetts here, and so 12 states that have not signed on to the settlement. Do you think that threat is real, or do you think it's posturing?
I think it's posturing, and it's more than 12. It's closer to 25 states that have not accepted the deal. Here's why we didn't accept it. Number one, what's been reported now by the Sacklers themselves that this is a $10 to $12 billion deal, just wrong. The Sacklers themselves are not disgorging any monies that they've made from the opioid crisis. They want to sell their foreign companies to pay what they believe in their minds is a fair share. I disagree.
Over 7 years, right?
Over 7 years, right. And here's the thing. We don't know what the Sacklers are worth. We don't know what they're worth. So how do you put in context what they should pay without knowing what they're worth? If they want to settle a case, there's a way to do that. Tell us what you're worth. They've siphoned the profits out of that company over the years. So now the money that would be in Purdue Pharma itself, the company itself, is now in the pockets of the Sacklers.
Don't you base that kind of thing on what the victims deserve, not on the net worth of whoever has to pay the bill?
Oh, well, there's two things going on here, right, Tim? One, obviously, you want money to compensate the victims, but part of holding the Sacklers accountable is making them feel, frankly, the pain of what they've caused. And if the assets we're recovering from the Sacklers is 10%, I'm just picking a number, 10% of their net worth as opposed to some higher number, I'm not sure that that's justice. In fact, I'm confident that it's not. So, again, I come back to this. If the Sacklers want to have real settlement talks, let us know how much money you've siphoned out of the company. Where is it? Let's put the real numbers on the table, then let's talk.
I have a sort of simple question. I would think that with the amount of legal resources being thrown at this case and most attorneys general involved, big, small, and in between, you're still unable to get their offshore accounts and things like that. Is it that hard to track down money that if it's not just sitting in a Bank of America account in the States?
Absolutely. Whenever you go overseas, even when I was U.S. attorney and our reach was broader, that was still very, very difficult. So again, Sacklers want to settle. They want to come to the table. Then come to the table with full disclosure. And maybe we'll get that in bankruptcy proceedings. We'll see.
I want to ask you something out of your jurisdiction, which I know you love. Many politicians have called on Fall River Mayor Jazel Correa to step down in light of another round of charges. These allegations are a stunning public corruption scheme. He's accused of extortion and bribery. We had Congressman Keating on the program here last week, and he's a former prosecutor, and he called on the mayor to step down. Where do you fall on that? Should he leave office?
Oh, sure, yeah. There's such a cloud over Fall River now. I don't know how he can effectively govern. He's been indicted twice now, and I follow it through the media. Obviously, I have no insight into what the U.S. Attorney is thinking up there, but I strongly suspect that this road ends badly for the mayor legally. And I don't see the point of hanging on. I think he's not doing what's in the best interest of the people of the city of Fall River.
So we broke the stories that 2 from Correa's Inner Circle have signed what's called cooperation agreements with federal prosecutors up in Boston. I'm not going to ask you specifically about the case because you're not involved with it. But, one of the things you hear about, one of the elements of a cooperation agreement is leniency. So the federal prosecutors say, hey, you help us and you give us substantial assistance when it comes time for you to be sentenced, because they, by the way, have pled guilty in this case, we'll ask for leniency. People think that guarantees they're going to have less jail time. Explain that. That you can, as a prosecutor, go in there and say, Judge, we think they deserve less than the recommended guidelines, but that's not guaranteed.
No, it's not guaranteed. I mean, a lot of the times the judges will go along with it. Judge Wolf in Massachusetts was famous for blowing up prosecutors' recommendations, for example. But most of the time the judges go along with it. And I think there's a broader point here, which is you're always trying to work up the organizational scale. So you're always trying to turn the more junior players against the more senior players because they're driving the corruption. And so to me, this is sort of the classic federal prosecutor, state prosecutor playbook here. And again, it's part of the reason, I'm pretty confident it's going to end badly for the mayor in the end.
I want to ask you about the Diocese of Providence. Earlier this summer, they released the names of dozens of priests credibly accused, they said in their view, of sex abuse since 1950. The Providence Journal's Brian Amaral reported this week another priest's name was quietly added to the list since then. Are you satisfied with the church's level of transparency at this point?
Well, remains to be seen. I mean, we're doing our review right now. They have voluntarily turned over documents to us. I mean, we're taking that route in the first instance because, frankly, that's the way for us to get records, make an analysis, and share as much of it as we can. Because if I go right to the grand jury to do an investigation, I'm going to be limited potentially in what I can say. So, to date, I have no reason to think the diocese hasn't complied with the agreement we have. But look, whether it be the diocese or anyone else that we're investigating or investigating conduct that involves an entity, I trust, but I definitely verify. And so particularly in this instance, we're working through it methodically, and we'll see where it takes us in the end. We're getting the materials, we're working through it. But I look at everything through a skeptical eye. I've been in this business for a long time. I know when I feel like we've got all the answers, and we're a long way from there yet.
What's the final work product going to look like on that review? Sometimes we've said investigation, sometimes your office said, no, it's a review. Yeah. I mean, what's the end result of it then?
Yeah, look, I think at the end of the day, what I'd like to do and what I intend to do, what I expect to do is to be able to issue some kind of a report. That's why I'm trying to get as much information outside of a grand jury process as I can, frankly. It depends, what we learn over the course of the next months. The shape of this could change. Obviously, if there's a reason to use a grand jury, I will. That will change what I can say. But I'm leaving my options open. But I expect to share as much information as I can. And certainly a report is in my head, unless I get to a point where I've got a criminal case and I can't do it. So it's a little premature to really talk about exactly what comes out. But I am committed to releasing as much information I can as I can, to be as transparent as I can, and that's why we've made the procedural choices that we've made.
One quick question before we go to break, which is the diocese, generally speaking, I would say the way they look at it is they say lots of bad things happened over the years. We have cleaned up our act, especially since the 90s. Now this is a largely historical problem. We have procedures in place to deal with it now. It's not like it was. Does it look that way to you as someone reviewing it externally?
Yeah, I think it's too early to say, Ted. I mean, that's one of the things we want to really trying to do two things. Hold accountable anybody who was involved in criminal misconduct in the past, however far back it goes, and then also make sure that the odds of this kind of behavior happening again are as reduced as much as possible. And so we'll see where it takes us in the end.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, you may recall Attorney General Peter Neronha inherited a problem, and that was hundreds of cases were collecting dust and they were never prosecuted. Where does that stand? Stay with us. You're watching Newsmakers. Welcome back to Newsmakers. I'm Tim White. To my left, Eyewitness News reporter Ted Nesi. Our guest this week is Attorney General Peter Neronha. General, you inherited a bit of a crisis from Attorney General Peter Kilmartin. Hundreds of cases were collecting dust. that were never prosecuted. This made huge headlines when you started your tenure. And you know, there were a couple of buckets there, but in short, some of them lacked information from police departments, and others, the Attorney General's office just didn't properly track them. The statute of limitations on those some of those were ticking. That clock was ticking. You vowed to tackle it when you were sworn in. Where does it stand? What is the latest on that?
Yeah, we're in good shape. The intake unit's done a great job. We had a backlog of 1,697 cases as of January 1.
That's on top of the 1,300 that was under Kilmartin, correct? Okay.
And those have all been charged or otherwise disposed of. And so I'm proud of the intake unit for getting through that backlog very quickly. So we've kept up. And they've done a great job. But just to give you a context of what this means, so through the first 6 months of the year, we had charged nearly 3,000 cases, 2,900 round numbers. Through the first 6 months of last year, 2018, we charged about 1,300. So we've charged a lot more cases. Those cases got charged. What that means now is that the court system has a lot of cases.
That's what I was going to ask you, and I'm not even joking. You must be hearing it from the presiding justice, from the chief of district court. I mean, they must be overwhelmed because of the volume that's coming out of your office.
Yeah. So yes, it has had an impact on the court system, the PAC calendar, the pre-arraignment calendar, the warrant calendar, the public defenders getting more cases. My trial prosecutors have bigger caseloads. You know, it'll level out, I think, over time. But we had to, for the sake of the victims, and frankly, to bring justice for both sides, we had to get those cases into the system. Now, the court's been great. These are all in Superior Court. These are all felony cases.
Right, of course, yeah.
So Presiding Justice Gibney has been great. She's put together a push calendar for November. So we're going to try to move these cases through the system as quickly as we can. But the key is the backlog is gone. We're keeping up. That intake unit's doing a great job. And again, this is a level out. This was a backlog kind of in the making, but we'll be okay. You know, we've already charged well beyond through today. We've charged more cases than we charged all of last year by a lot. So this is going to be a very busy year in the criminal justice system. I don't think that means we've had more crime. I just think that this backup has been building, and we've got to clean it out.
Are you worried that this sort of fast food approach to handling these cases will be at the expense of justice?
I don't, because the people in that unit are doing a great job. I really changed that unit up, both in terms of professional staff, meaning the non-lawyer staff, and the lawyers down there. They are really doing a good job. They really are. They're talented, they're smart, they know what they're doing, and they're doing a really good job.
You had your first General Assembly session, which is always an education for newly elected officials. Something that stuck out to me when the budget popped out of the House Finance Committee was you had put forward I'm not going to pretend I can fully explain it here, but a new way of doing multi-state settlements. You'd asked for some extra staffing, you thought you could get more for the state, and in exchange you said it would free up some resources. In classic General Assembly fashion, they took the new resources but did not give you the new authority, and your office, your advisors were pretty unhappy, was my understanding about that. You know, what's your thought now, a few months out, now that that passed into statute?
Yeah, look, I think if we try to explain what this means, what Rhode Island recovers in these multi-state lawsuits, which is lawsuits brought by a bunch of attorneys general, think Wells Fargo, Volkswagen for the emissions scandal. We get a percentage of the settlement. We get a bigger percentage, the bigger role we play. So if we're leaders, we get more. Rhode Islanders get more, the bigger role we play. And so,
like the famous Google settlement was because Rhode Island was
a little different, Ted. That was a forfeiture case that I brought as U.S. attorney. So a little different. This is a multi-state civil case. Google was a criminal investigation. So a little different. But the principle is generally the same. The bigger role you have, the more money you get back. And so my proposal was, give us a few more lawyers to do this work. They'll pay for themselves. They'll pay for themselves. And we had $6 million that the legislature was able to get out of this. Give us $1 million to pay those lawyers. And and all the things that come with them, and we'll generate more money for the state, and we'll be leaders in ways that we really can't be right now. I think in the long term, that's a win-win for everybody. We'll be back up at the General Assembly next year trying to get that done. And there's something else in that that's important. Part of that fix was to make our consumer protection statute be what it really should be, which is a vehicle to protect consumers. We have a really weak consumer protection statute that if we don't get that fixed, at the end of the day, that could endanger some of these multi-state settlements as well. So we've got some work to do there. We had good conversations, particularly with the Senate. We'll have conversations again with the House, and I'm reasonably confident we'll make progress there this year.
Let's stay with the General Assembly here. You attempted to pass legislation that in certain instances, grand juries could issue public reports you referenced it at the top of the show, as a matter of fact, but we always bring up 38 studios as that example. The bill failed to get traction at the State House. What is your understanding of what gave lawmakers pause?
Look, this is something for Rhode Island that's pretty novel. Not really novel across the country. There's lots of states that do this. Look, I think the reality is that, and I think it's a tool that has to be used carefully. You don't use a grand jury report all the time, because there are things that grand jury secrecy is intended to protect, and those are valuable things. So I think there's a sense up there that it might be misused, if I'm being candid. And so I've got to convince them that there are due process protections in place. And our bill had these due process protections. Look, before that report gets issued, anybody who's named in the report can go to the presiding justice of the Superior Court and ask that their name be redacted or the report not be released. If the presiding justice rules against them, it can be appealed to the Supreme Court. These are the same due process protections that are in statutes elsewhere. So I think as I educate and perhaps normalize this a little bit to the General Assembly, we may have better luck up there.
And to be clear, bringing up Ted's questions again on the Catholic Church, you feel a little hamstrung, correct me if I'm wrong, that you can't use a grand jury in the Catholic Church investigation. Well, you can, but if you do that, that means you might not be able to release as much information as you want at the end of it.
So think of Pennsylvania very briefly. Pennsylvania identified, not by name, but 300 priests that had been involved in misconduct in their church investigation. Had that been done in Rhode Island, there would have been an indictment. I think they indicted 3 priests. You would have had a 3-priest indictment or 3 cases involving priests. That's a very different exposure of what happened than if you can do a report, as Attorney General Shapiro could do in Pennsylvania. So if you just take that case alone, you see the different dynamic you have in doing that kind of investigation. I think it's a useful tool. I think in the course of a term, you might use it once, maybe twice. But I think it's valuable to have in the toolbox, and I think we should strongly consider it.
Let's talk politics a little bit, lighten it up a tiny bit. You're a Democrat. Who do you like for president? Anybody cut your eye? Anybody you think's impressive in the debates and all?
Nobody. Look, there's a core group. I think Vice President Biden, sort of jumps out at me a little bit. Senator Warren, I've been impressed with, frankly more than I thought I would be. I've watched the debates like most Americans, but I'm not ready to make any decisions yet. I think there's some real leaders in the Democratic Party that maybe this isn't their time, but there will be, down the road. But I've most of my focus, frankly, has been on the office and trying to tackle some of the things.
I'm not sure most of Americans have watched the debates, honestly. No, I don't think so. Like people like us watch those debates.
My kids are really into it. I tell you, my boys are really into it. Yeah, they
That's
really want
your fault.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they're really into it.
And I have to ask this one endlessly when we start the early 2022 for governor speculation. Your name comes up. You'll say Neronha, maybe Neronha 1, maybe Neronha 1. You never like to even discuss it, but I have to believe people whisper it to you occasionally. Any interest in that?
Yeah, look, I know this is the canned answer that I'm focused on the office, but I really am, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to say it again. I don't think I would have run for any other office other than this one. This is the work that I love, and so I really don't see myself running for governor or any other position. Really, I really love this work. Yeah, really. I try to run the Attorney General's office the way I ran the U.S. Attorney's office. I try to separate the politics. I find the politics a distraction to the work that we're doing. So I don't spend time thinking about it. I don't desire to be a career politician. I want to do the work for as long as I can do it. What that means, 3 years from now, I don't know. But my love is with this work. I love sitting in a room with prosecutors and lawyers and talking about legal issues. Somebody asked me once about it. I think it was Mayor Paolino, and I said, "Look, I want to do cases. I don't want to fix bridges." So that's where my heart is. So that's my answer.
All right, we'll play that back when you announce your campaign. 2020. I played this game too many times, but fair enough.
He's
fair
not
enough.
joking. All right, so we have a couple minutes left. Real quick on this one, I don't know how much you could talk about it. I reported last week, I think, that the colonel of the Rhode Island State Police asked Connecticut to come in and review an allegation of a member of the command staff for allegedly striking a juvenile in their custody. There are questions about whether that internal investigation was handled properly. I know you're aware of it.
Sure.
Colonel Manny tells me he expects a report from Connecticut within the month. What are you going to be looking for from your perspective as a prosecutor in that report?
Yeah, so I've talked to Colonel Manny about his decision to go outside. I think that was a wise move. I think it's important for purposes of credibility that you bring in an impartial agency, and that was a smart thing for him to do. So we talked a lot about it, frankly. Yeah, we'll see what the report says. If there are any instances where misconduct occurred that's beyond sort of administrative sanction potentially, we probably, we would sit with the colonel and go over that. It's really too early to talk about that. I think what's important, the state police have been such a credit to the state and remain such a credit to the state, and such an important institution of integrity. That they get past this temporary crisis. I think Colonel Manny is the right person to lead them in that direction. We've had a great relationship over the years. We have a great relationship now, and I think the future for the state police and the state in that regard is bright. They've got to get through this difficult time, though.
Okay, and do you know, real quick, 10 seconds, is the U.S. Attorney's Office involved in that conversation too? Because you could see a federal or state.
Yeah. Not to my knowledge,
no.
Okay. Not directly with me, no.
All right. Attorney General Peter Neronha, thank you very much for joining us on the program. If you missed any of it, it's online, WPRI.com. Don't forget our podcast through iTunes. For Ted Nesi, I'm Tim White. We will see you next week on Newsmakers.